Alrighty. And today we're going to be covering a few things specific to, immediate needs that we need to cover and that you're all going to want to cover for your newsletters. So today we're going to talk about uploading your contact list. And from there, I'm going to show you how you're going to edit your newsletter. And at this point, I'm assuming that you're also already logged into iApps Marketeer. From there, I'll show you within the newsletter how to add and remove sections, manage the coupon, edit content, or even add new content. And then from there, we'll go on to finally scheduling out and publishing our newsletter to all of our recipients. So the first thing before we can start sending out our newsletter is we're going to want to upload our contact list. To upload the contact list, please reference the Camp Bow Wow training guide, which you can access on the Camp Bow Wow iApp support website. And what you're ultimately going to be doing is exporting your contact list from your current tool and importing all of the people within the contact list to iApp. I'm going to go ahead and open up a completely dumbed down sample of what a contact list might look like. And in this scenario, this is a contact list that I ultimately exported from the current tool and am going to import into iApps. So I have things like email, first name, last name, pet1 name, pet2 name, pet1 date of birth, pet2 date of birth, location, and I might have a lot more information, right? I'm sure you all have hundreds or thousands of more contacts than this, or at least dozens, and a whole bunch more attributes up here in these columns.
And you may actually have less. You may just have a first name, last name, and an email address, and that's okay too.
And just a couple things to keep in mind with this Excel spreadsheet. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that there's no commas, because what we're going to do is save it as a CSV file so that we can upload it into iApp. And then also your top row, all these headers in row 1, these should all be one word, no spaces. To save an Excel spreadsheet as a CSV, head over to File, click on Save As, and you're going to choose to save it as a CSV. All right, so now we got our CSV file saved. Let's head back over to iApps and upload those contacts. So to upload the contacts, yes, Linda, thank you. The current tool I do mean my newsletter builder. All right, so to upload the contacts, we'll head over to Contacts, and I'm going to go ahead and import contacts. From here, we'll choose a file, and I'm going to import that CSV that I just created. From here, I'll click Continue. And actually, you do have a couple options here which are worth pointing out. Overwrite existing contact properties based on email. That means if maybe you're keeping information in my newsletter builder and you're seeing how many people are, or you're tracking address moves or phone number changes or things like that, dog names, additional dogs. Clicking on this will update the user's information based on the email address. So if there's no information to be changed, nothing will be changed. If there is, it'll change it. From here, what we do is we map the fields. And what that means is in iApps Marketeer, all those attributes that I alluded to are titled something. In my CSV, in that file I uploaded, they might be titled something else. So here we're just mapping fields. And if it's an exact match like you see here, iApps will make the map for you. So here I see pet1 DOB, pet1 name, right? So I named them exactly the same, so we're in good shape here. Perfect. As I scroll down, as I scroll back up to the top, we will continue. And here you just see a preview just telling you your map in the right place. And this is going to tell you if you have any contacts with errors. An example of an error contact might be if this was after the @ symbol, if perhaps there's special characters, or if there's 2 @ symbols. Those are the examples of bad email addresses. If there's nothing, .com or .net or .edu, that would be a bad email address. And it's also going to let you know if there's duplicate contact. So, perhaps on that CSV file, somehow a user's email address was stored twice. This is going to flush out all the duplicates. When we click Continue again, we're going to define our contact list. So I'm actually going to create this contact list. I'm going to call it December 1 contacts for joint test. And I'm going to go ahead and import my contacts. Your contacts should upload very quickly. And after they do, you can just click Close. This is a little summary. And now we have the contacts within iApps. Placeit. So now let's talk about how we're going to edit the newsletter. So I'm going to head over to Campaigns. And now let's go to Manage Emails. And then if we click on our Shared Campaigns folder, which might already be selected for you, today we're going to focus on the December 2015 newsletter. So I'm going to click on the newsletter, and we're going to go ahead and edit it. Alrighty, so now the newsletter is open. If you'd like, you could bring this left-hand column down to see more information. I'm going to go ahead and just go up, and let's talk about how we're going to edit this. So what I could do is go ahead and click on any pencil icon to edit text that's already existing. And from here, you're using that same WYSIWYG editor that you use within your website. So I'm just going to take the assumption that everyone is comfortable and familiar with this WYSIWYG editor. After you make an update to the content, if you click Save, you're going to get this warning here. And the reason we're getting this warning is because this content is shared across all the Camp Bow Wow websites. So of course, you're not going to be able to make an update for your location and have it update another location. So what you're always going to do is when you get that warning, just click Save As after you make your content update. From here, you're going to save the content into your content library. I know we've spoken about the content library before. Just keep in mind how this is pretty much like a file cabinet. And every single piece of content you create on your website should get stored in this file cabinet. I'm going to call it Updated 12/1 Email, just so I'm titling it with something I can recognize. And now what you can do is even go ahead and create more folders within your content library. So maybe I'm going to write, December newsletter to store it away in. Great. As we scroll down, you're going to see December events or promotions. This is where you're going to be able to go ahead and edit to add in more events just by typing in the events. Now, if you don't have any events, or if you want to remove anything within this newsletter, just click on the pencil icon and select Remove Text. And now that text is no longer there. If you want to create something new in its place, you'd click the pencil icon and choose to create new text. And now you can insert images, hyperlinks, pictures, right? And just create all the content that you want within here. And then finally, you would click Save on this brand new content. And now you would save this brand new content into your content library. All right, here we have the Camper of the Month section. Within this section, you're going to want to put images into these big gray boxes of your camper of the month, your counselor of the month, and even a foster dog of the month. So to add in this image, go ahead and click on your pencil icon and select to edit the text. Now we're getting a warning, right? Right off the bat, we're being, hey, don't insert anything bigger than 300 by 400. Although height is flexible, you're probably going to want to stick to about that range. Good warning to adhere to. So I'm going to click on this icon, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and insert an actual image of a dog here. Now I'm brought over to my image library. I'm going to choose a folder within my image library. And as soon as the folder loads, I'm going to go ahead and add an image into this folder. So just give this a second. All right, so now let's go ahead and add an image here by selecting Add New and Add One Image. But I'm going to ultimately add more than one image. I'm going to add a dog image, and I'm also going to add the foster dog image. So I'm ultimately adding two images. So I'm actually going to go ahead and click Add Multiple Images, save myself a step later. From here, I'm going to browse for the image. And I believe I put it in my pictures library, simple pictures, and look at that guy right there and right there. Perfect. So these are two images that I got, and I will upload the files. And I just held Control to select multiple images. So if you're having trouble selecting multiple images, just hold down Control, and you're allowed to click multiple images in that Explorer window. All right, upload the files, click Close, and look at that guy. Sometimes you're going to see this icon. That's telling you this image is above 100 KB, which is what we recommend as an optimal image size in terms of weight. And by weight, I mean the file size, not the image dimensions. So look, 197 KB on a page, or excuse me, in an email that doesn't have a lot of images is going to be okay. But if this email has 10 images, and they're all above 100 KB, that could start slowing down the user's viewing the email because the images are going to take longer to render. There's the image. And now I could go ahead and insert some fun facts and more information about the camper right here. Like, he has big paws. Look at that little guy. All right, that's his fun fact. I'll go ahead and save this. But again, I'm going to get a warning because this is master site content, so we'll click Save As. All right, and I will title this Camper of the Month, put it in my folder, and select that directory. There he is. All right, now let's also add a foster dog. Again, I'm going to edit this text. And I will go ahead and, feel free to move this around too, right? You don't have to keep it where it is, or maybe in market. All right. Click on the image and insert an image from the library. Again, I'll head over to the same folder I was in before. Here's the other image I uploaded. Select it and click Save. Well, I'll skip the click and save. We're going to have to click Save As because this is original content. So I'll click Save As. I'm going to go ahead and title this Foster Doggy of the Month. There it is. Perfect. All right, and the last thing that we'll talk about is this coupon here. And if you want to go about switching out this coupon or removing it or inserting a different coupon. So if you want to remove it, just click the pencil icon and click on this to remove the text. If you want to edit the coupon that you see here, select Edit Text, click on the coupon itself, and what you're going to do is insert an image from the image library. Now this time, rather than inserting an image that I took, and by the way, this could be for the foster dog or the counselor of the month, right? Rather than inserting an image that I took or that's in my image library, I want to insert an image from the franchise model library. All right? Now I'm in franchise model, and now I can insert any image that the corporate team has opted to share with us. So if I expand emails, I'm going to go to coupons, and let's go ahead and, nope, I don't want, there we go, I want a Camp Bow Wow coupon. We're going to offer a free day. Select the image, and now it's updated. From here, I'll click Save As, and I'm going to save my updated coupon. Put it in my folder, and select the directory. All right, so we've covered creating content, removing content, and editing content. Let's pause for a second, take a look at questions, and then we'll move on. Chris, you have as much storage in this IF site as you need. You could upload a lot of different, as many images as you're going to need. You're going to be able to upload into this image library. And that was chairperson. Okay. General question. Notice pinning the toolbar doesn't always follow the cursor down the page. Yep. In Marketeer, I want to say that pinning the toolbar doesn't follow the cursor, versus in Content Manager on your website, it will follow your cursor down the page. And then Jen, how do you change the order of articles that appear? So there wouldn't be changing the orders. There's not just like a drag and drop. If you'd want to change the order of articles that appear, you'd ultimately have to remove articles and then insert them where you want them to appear by selecting Insert Text from Library. And this is why it's so important to remember what you titled your content and where you stored it. Well, it's actually not published yet. But as soon as it's published, I'd be able to insert the content here, and I would just be, I'll take an example. And now that's been inserted there. So you'd just be removing it and inserting it elsewhere. Before you have the option to insert it elsewhere, though, you're going to have to save the email, and then the contents will appear in the content library. All right, how do we insert a horizontal line like we have above the coupon? Let me head on down to the coupon. All right, let me see if there's a way to do that. That might just be part of the template. Let's take a look. So this is a horizontal line, but it's not as bold as this one. Just going to take a look to see if I see it anywhere for you. No. So it looks like this is the horizontal line that you'll be able to insert when you click Save. It's not as bold as the one here. It's a little thinner. All right, I'll continue on answering questions. How do I insert? Okay, can you remove pics from your library once they're added? Absolutely. You can delete images from your image library. To do that, you would actually go to the image library itself from Content Manager. So all these images are shared between your website and your email, which is great for you, right? That means if you insert an image on the website, you don't have to reinsert it into the image library in Marketeer. It's one shared image library. Insert an image in one place, you can use it in multiple. Michelle asks, so there's basically no auto-save feature. You always have to choose Save As and rename the content. Yeah, and that's really for everyone's benefit. It means that you could always reuse content, repurpose content, and by knowing where it's stored, you can kind of shift around where the content appears within this email itself. So although it is a little bit more cumbersome than an autosave, it does come with a lot of enhanced functionality that I think a lot of people are going to get use out of. You may have covered this, but how do you add the list of customers who have unsubscribed from our current newsletter so we do not send them this one? So do you want us to have how the unsubscribed, oh wait, unsubscribes just aren't exported from My Newsletter Builder, is that correct?
Correct. When you export your contacts from My Newsletter Builder, you just select active contacts, and then it will remove anybody who's been unsubscribed. And if you want to see more details on that, Christy has a video that she posted on the support site that provides step-by-step details along with an instruction guide to walk you through exactly how to do that on My Newsletter Builder and exactly how to upload it into Marketeer.
Perfect. And Nancy, just so you know, if someone does unsubscribe from an email within Marketeer, they will not receive an email again. They're automatically tagged with like a do not send list in the database. Even if that user's email is in a contact list, you don't have to worry about it. They're not going to receive the email. Chris, I will cover previewing an email before we send. All right, I'm just catching up, making sure there's nothing else. Is there a chairperson to, oh. So then it looks like, Michelle, is there no longer a narrow left-hand column where you put our social media and other information specific to our camp? Let me see if that was answered yet.
We don't have the left-hand column just because with the design of the email, it feeds into an email provider a lot easier to read, and especially viewing from a mobile device too. So you can add in a section into the email that has your social sites and all that good stuff.
Perfect. And Nancy, you asked, as you re-enter customers into iApps via that CSV file, won't that be re-adding them? Or is there a way to export the data? You don't have to worry about that. Go ahead and re-add them. Every month, do your export from Datadog, import the contacts into iApps Marketeer. Don't worry about re-adding them because you're just going to go ahead and create two separate contact lists. And as you're going to see in a little bit, we're only going to be sending to one of them. All right, I'll just field the last three that are here, and then we're going to continue on. Rows, the image sizes and shapes are different between the website and newsletter. For example, the foster dog image of the month, does this mean we need to save two different image files? I would recommend that, yeah. And there's a reason why they're different images, and it's because the view on the website has that built-in responsive view, meaning it's mobile friendly, right? So the website as a whole is mobile friendly, which looks a lot different than an email coming onto your device type, being iPhone or Android. So they do require different image sizes, and I do apologize for the fact that you're going to have to upload multiples there. Chris, there is no copying folders within the content library. Linda, if an unsubscribed does not get into the new application, how will it know not to send a newsletter to them when their name gets added from Datadog? I will let chairperson answer that one, Linda, via the chat. Heather, my contacts were added. Lead customers. Heather, don't worry about that. That's Heather S. said my contacts were added as leads, not customers. Is there a way to change that? It's just iApps lingo. Technically, you're only a customer if you're coming from iApps Commerce, which, of course, you don't have. There's not purchasing online. So just ignore that. It's just iApps lingo. There's no way to change it. Okay. Looks like a lot of questions coming in from contacts, so I will let chairperson handle that and continue on. I want to make sure to show how to preview an email. And to do that, I will click on this drop-down here and select Preview Email. And then we'll give it a moment to load. And what it's ultimately going to load is a preview of this email. All right? I'm going to go ahead and close the preview now. And let's go ahead and choose recipients. And I'm going to send this to the contact list that I uploaded. And there it is, right? December 1 contacts Bridgeline Test. So this is how I'm making sure I'm not sending it to someone's email address 5 times or sending it to the last email address or the last month, right? I uploaded this contact list on this call today, and I saved it with a name that I remember. Let me get rid of all contacts, choose that, and now it's save and schedule. All right, so this is the time and date it's set to go out. I can choose the time zone that I want this to go out at to make sure it's actually going out 12/9 at 2 p.m. Now this can be changed by clicking here and just changing the date, and you can change the time as well. Do not set this to recur. You don't want this to go out daily because you'd be sending the email to the person every day. So don't recur. One thing that I like to check off just to be safe is only send to a recipient once. Okay, let's check that off. And now let's go ahead and review and send this email. Here's another preview of the email. Oh, okay. Here's a good warning for us. The email does not contain a text version. We're going to want to fix that. It's good to have a text version of your email because some mail clients don't receive HTML, like images and fancy. So let's go ahead and close and edit. I'm going to choose this dropdown. And at this point, what you're probably going to want to do is copy over the content that you want moved over to the text version. Control-C, create a text-only version, and Control-V to paste it. All right, so I would continue to do that. I'd add in all my content and then click Save. And one thing I'm actually going to do is go back to that text-only version, and I'm going to go ahead and insert an unsubscribe link. And you don't need this text-only version, but I'd recommend it. All right, so now let's head over to Review and Send. All right, perfect. From here, I see the recipient list, and I'm going to go ahead and publish out this email. And now on December 9th at 2 p.m. Mountain, this email will go live. Okay. So that's everything I had scheduled for today.
Ethan, I have one more question. So for contact list, you uploaded your initial one. Is there a way to add additional contacts to that list that you created?
Yes. So if I go to Import Contacts, I'm going to choose a file. And maybe this is the same exact contact list, but it's updated month after month. Is that kind of the scenario?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Choose that same contact list. And I'm going to overwrite existing contact properties based on email. Now we're going to map the fields, just like we did before. Verify the data, just like we did before. Continue. And rather than creating a new contact list, I'm going to append this to an existing contact list. Choose the contact list and click Import. All right. And Julie, I'll let you continue to kind of handle the questions coming in about Datadog and my newsletter builder. Okay, Elizabeth asked if we can add individual emails to an existing list without having to upload a whole CSV file. Yes, we can. So to add individuals to an existing list, head over to Manage Contact Lists. We'll go to that contact list that we want to add somebody to, and now choose Edit. We'll just wait for this next screen to load. And, oops, sorry, might have went to the wrong place. Give me 1 sec, let me get Sense for you. Now it looks like what you're going to want to do is go to the contact list, Manage Contacts. Ultimately, you're going to have to export this list and then re-import it if you want to add a user to a specific contact list. So you will have to re-import the CSV. Chris asked if there's a way to then submit or attach the newsletter to your Facebook page. I mean, yeah, you could always, copy the context, maybe a screenshot, and then upload it and, put it on your Facebook wall. Is there a certain way you want them to go about that, Julie?
Is there a way to get a web link of the newsletter and they could just post that link directly to the newsletter?
No, what you could do is, at the end of the day, it's a shared content library between your website and your newsletter. So you can, whether it's on the on each local site, you could just basically copy the contents of the newsletter and paste it onto the website. But that'd be the closest way to go about that. Connie, you can add a single contact via Add One Contact, but the problem with that is it wouldn't add them to a specific contact list. It would just add them into the Marketeer database, floating with all the other contacts. So to add a specific user to an existing contact list, you'd have to export the contact list and then re-import it. Export it, add the user, then re-import it. Oops. All right. Julia, anything else that you'd like us to cover, or any last questions that are coming in?
Nope, we will be posting, if someone has questions, obviously you can follow up with myself or the support site, either via email, website, or their phone. And then we will be posting this video afterwards onto the support site as well if you want to review it later. All right, thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you. Bye.